you know, Smash, like you're doing too much in Smash. Like I'm not. So like to tell me like, oh, because I had this cat out of this Tony Hawk group I'm in, and he messaged me the other day, and he was like, "Hey, are you gonna play me in Tony Hawk or not?" And I was like, "I know you." And his response to this was like, "You have to know me to play with me in the game." And I answered, "Yeah, nigga, I do." Like, the fuck? I'm not gonna just add you and I don't know you. Like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Like, not at all. And so he was like, "Well, you were saying that there's no competition in Pro Skater 5." I was like, "When did I say that?" Like, I don't remember. Like, I didn't tell you that directly, I know. But I know he was like, "You said it in the group." And I was like, "Oh." I was like, "That's because you read too deep into it." I didn't say there was no competition as in I'm the rawest motherfucker moving. No one fucking plays it! There's no competition in the game, ain't nobody playing.
Ooh, got me. Good shit.
So, and I mean, you can boot up Pro Skater 5. I can turn it on right now. And I promise you, I can either go to the barracks. If I go to the barracks, the starting stage, plenty of people there. If I go to the school, which is the second stage, there'd be a couple people there. The further down the line in stages you get, less and less people. And I do mean less and less people. Every single time I booted that game up since they fixed it, there's always somebody on. But there ain't nobody on in the harder stages. They're always in the front. Like, they're always in the training stages, which is chill. Just play the game and have fun. So for him to, so I told him, yeah, I said it wasn't no competition because no one's playing. And then he went out of his way to screenshot what I said, and it was like, remember you said this? To which I'm like, motherfucker, I just explained what I said. I didn't say it. I explained to you what it was. Why are you regurgitating my information back at me when I know I said it? And to which he was like, I'm just trying to tell you there is like competition out there because I'm like probably one of the best people playing right now. And I was like, well, fucking good for you. I don't give a shit. I haven't played Pro Skater 5 in God knows how long. Like, I just recently put it back in my PlayStation and still haven't played it. Like, it's been months since I played Pro Skater 5. And he ran that whole, oh, it's like, so you gonna play me or not? And I was like, no. And he was like, oh, you're scared to play me. Okay, it's cool, or whatever. I was like, alright, you're blocked. Because don't run that whole, ooh, you're scared, huh? It's like, you know what, dude? You might have been better than me, and I might have whooped your ass. Now you'll never know.
Right.
Because you could have simply asked me, hey, no one else is playing, will you play with me? I probably would have been like, alright, cool. But to be insulting, that's not gonna get the job done. I'm not gonna start a possible friendship because you was shit talking. I got enough friends to shit talk. And I like these people. I barely know you. I don't know you.
Yes.
Are you knocking because you know I'm naked?
It's one of many
No, I
workshops
thought
I've
that
constructed over the years.
you took Zelda when I had this. Smash Brothers.
Lois, don't.
Hmm?
What did I? What did,
I must not have it.
when you
I don't
asked
have it.
me, what did I tell you?
It's not here, so he must have it. Is he gone?
No, he's downstairs.
Lois, leave. Lois, leave right now.
Ask him first.
Exit the place, Lois. Stop being here. Go.
I'll be right back, man. I'm gonna get some damn comfort food. You know, hey, I don't gotta say this, but I was salty about the fact that he wouldn't acknowledge the fact that he played with a cheap character. And I was telling him that, I'm like, bro, if you play your character. Because I kept fighting him. I'm like, play your character, bro. Just know that I'm not gonna say you're skillful, nigga. I don't give a fuck about what rank you have. You playing with this character that carries itself.
His ego literally, like, revolved around being good with that character. Not being good meaning he gets wins. To accept that, yeah, my character's not hard to play with, diminishes the feel good he gets from winning with that character. Cause if I tell you I can't fight Ike, like I can beat damn near anybody, but for whatever reason, no matter who you pick, or no matter who I pick, I cannot get around Ike. I just don't know how. And then you proceed to pick Ike and demolish me. And then you're like, because I told you to bro, I'm raw. Like, no, fucker, you counterpicked on purpose. You were scared to move away from that motherfucker. Because you know, like, there might have been a match or two where I got close to whooping your ass. But I just can't get around Ike. It's been like this since Brawl. I can't fight Ike. Like, I don't know why. I don't know if it's like, when I see him, it's a level of intimidation. I hate to see him coming. Like I do. Like, I hate seeing Ike. And it's like, it's just like, man, this motherfucker. Like, it's that. And it's like, I'm already, like, beaten because in my head, I'm like, I'm not going to have a good time here. And I usually don't go in with the same ferocity because I feel like it's going to be pointless. But yeah, like, that, like, no, he's not cheap. Like, you just can't beat him. Like, most people can't. That's what makes him cheap. You dipshit. I was like, man, you like, first off, like, dude, get out the party. The dude just leave, just go somewhere and be sad with your geese playing ass.
I mean, I kicked him off the shit. Like, as soon as he was talking about, Kazumi is cheaper than he is, or higher tier. Like, nah, my dude. And I was like, you just named 5 characters that can't do what these things. Yes, come in. What is going on? Exactly. Like, no, I guess I just have like small patience for whatever the hell you're doing. I don't know what you're doing.
Do you want some dick?
I'm gonna go get some food. I'm hungry.
I mean, if you want some dick, just say you want some dick. We can go in the bathroom. Fuck. You ain't gotta act funny.
You wanna come in? You can come in, chill. I mean, my bed's a mess. It's always a mess though.
And it smells like sweat in here for some reason.
You shut the fuck up. I'll be back up.
For years, I tried to get through this hatch. I drilled, I burned, I blasted. But we both know that you won't have any trouble getting through.
You make it sound like I should apologize.
Not at all.
I got this bitch looking like Batman.
It never occurred to me that the way through would not be with force, but with a key. A key in human form.
I mean, if that's what you want.
The family imagination was
like,
mine.
I got a lot of armor. I picked the one I felt was the best.
Looks like you've spent a lot of time here.
19 years ago, a great explosion destroyed this mountain.
But I'll be
Dyer's
honest,
death,
like,
your birth.
that game,
This one. Specifically.
yeah, that
Yeah.
I will defend it as a person who, like, enjoyed it. But I didn't like the combat. I like the story. It's not a new story. It's not an innovative story. It's not like a surprising story. I saw what was happening, like, pretty much like 25% through the game. Like, it's not a very surprising, like, oh my god, I can't believe this. I've never seen this anywhere type moment. Like,
Oh no, like I will say for sure, this game is not special. Not by any stretch of the imagination is it special. The visuals,
like it was a very pretty game, like, for the time.
I would say it's pretty-ish. Like, the problem with it is, like, every positive it has, I think there's 2 negatives. Like, you can say, like, it looks pretty. Well, first off, it looks kind of pretty. Like, it does. It looks kind of pretty. But the like, the lip sync to the voices is off. And, like, sometimes, like, hair does. You know, I give them a point. Like, I can't count hair. Hair is always, like, iffy in video games. But, like, definitely, like, some of the faces are kind of like, are a little uncanny valley. Like, they don't look quite right, and they move in very weird ways. Like, keep in mind, like, I'm coming off of playing, Detroit Become Human. Which, you know, it isn't fair to compare this to that.
Because Detroit doesn't have to do as much as that.
No.
But still, it is a much more prettier game.
Yeah, it looks way better. The water looks better. The skin textures look better. But and I'd say, like, this game for sure, one of the biggest issues, the 2 biggest issues. You say you don't like the combat. The 2 biggest issues I have with this game is most enemies are bullet sponges. The larger enemies are bullet sponges. That's well, arrow sponges in this case. They're arrow sponges. And what the fuck was it? Oh, it's boring.
I think the thing that I'll say is, like, I know what they're going for when they made this combat. Like, they want you to feel like every situation has a very specific rock, paper, scissors scenario. So they want you to come prepared, that sort of
But
thing.
it doesn't.
But that's okay at the beginning, like when you're first trying that, like it kind of works. But at some point you should be strong enough that it doesn't matter anymore, because
Yeah, what?
you've done it so many times. Like, why would you want to keep having to play that way? Like, you should feel like, well,
Well, I
I'm
was-
God now.
Well, I would say the biggest issue, like you will feel that way if you play it on easy,
Yeah.
which is
I
not
mean,
completely
but-
true, because even on easy mode, the Thunder Jaws can be a real kick in the dick. And it's not like they're hard, but I will say for sure, like I never really got down their attack patterns, and that could be because there are no patterns. But like they hit hard no matter what difficulty you play on, and they hit sporadically. Like sometimes, like especially like Ravagers, it feels like their wind up before their attacks should be a little bit longer before they than they are, and it's not, and you never tend like to remember. 'Cause I remember watching Yahtzee's review on it, and he was talking about how arrows tend to decide if they want to hit or miss on their own. Like as they're leaving the bow, they tend to just decide. Like, 'cause I'd imagine like it has this thing where like you, as long as what you're aiming at is within the the circle of the reticle, you're gonna hit it. That's not always the case. So it makes you wonder like how does it fucking work? And somebody in the comment was like, well, if you're having an issue with like the aiming, you can always do what I do, like just get better. Like in like I got better at it, and it like, and as at that point I was like, die, stop living on planet Earth, stop wasting our goddamn oxygen, because everybody has a shitty something that they've learned to live with. People with one leg know how to live with one fucking leg. It's not impossible. There are people who do it. There are people out there with nothing below the waist. Nothing. And they can get through life breezy as you please because they've learned how to do so. Shut the fuck
I mean,
up.
there's people without arms who can brush their teeth, drive a car, do
Like
everything.
there's the dude who plays Street Fighter who doesn't have fucking hands. Like he doesn't have arms. He can play Street Fighter. He plays it with his face, and he's good at it. Like fuck off with that whole if you get better. Like no, fuck you. It should just be easy. Not easy, but good. It should be well put together. Because it is, like, in this game, like, there is no getting good at the shooting mechanics. I'm not a great shot. But I've lined up headshots and watched the arrow fly past the enemy target. Many people who played this game have had the same complaints. Where it's like, no, I know I should have hit him in the head. And it didn't hit him in the head. The hardpoint arrows, like, the strongest arrows in the game, like, the ones with the sharpest, like, the ones with the most impact. Under no circumstance should you be able to fire an arrow into an enemy's head and it not be a one shot. And this game has that. You can unload 3 arrows into an enemy's head, like certain enemies' heads, before they die. Under what fucking sense does that make? It's an arrow at the end of the day. It's the same goddamn type of arrows I'm using to take down Optimus Prime and the Autobots. Like, why does more specifically the Dinobots? But why does it matter? Like, it's like headshot to headshot. If I get the drop on the headshot, I get the drop on the headshot. Like, there's a lot wrong with this game. And, like, the fact that it got, like, so many accolades is garbage. But maybe it just doesn't take as many accolades. The issue is, people whose jobs it is to decide if a game is good, they don't have a set, their job isn't set to a very specific standard. There's only so much of a game they have to get through before there's only so much of a game they have to get through before they can say, okay, this is what I thought of it. They don't have to play the whole thing. Yahtzee will admittedly say, like, I didn't finish a game. Like, I wanted to, I couldn't. It was boring. Like, I didn't, like, so I'm just telling you what I saw of it. Like, what I got out of it. And I respect that. But most text reviews, or, like, X out of X stars, most of those reviews don't tell you how far they got. Like, it simply don't. And, like, even if there's less than 100 review copies, there's got to be less than 100 review copies of any game going out before its official launch. So that's 100 people. Like, okay, their information doesn't get logged into the game's data. Okay, that doesn't get logged into the trophy data. Okay, but everybody else, like these are like the fact that it sold X number of copies. Take those number of copies that got sold, not returned, and then weigh it against like the most bare minimum, like the halfway point, whatever trophy marks the halfway point. Weigh that against like the percentage of people who got the trophy for getting to the halfway point of the game. It's always less than half. In this game specifically, like less than half the people who played, if I'm not mistaken, it's less than 40% of the people who played Horizon Zero Dawn got to level 25.
And it doesn't take very long to get there.
It does not. Matter of fact, you can get to level 25 by not doing the side quests. If you only play the main objectives, which I'm gonna be honest with you, if you only do the main stuff, that means you're not doing the corrupted zones, you're not going up the tall necks, you're only doing the main missions. You're missing out on a lot of weapons, you're missing out on a lot of armor. Given that this is an RPG, you need to be doing the side quests to actually be good enough at the game. But maybe that was the issue.
Otherwise you're just gonna struggle.
Yeah. Even on easy mode, you're still gonna have issues because a lot of enemies are gonna become bullet sponges because you don't have the right type of ammo to take them down. Also, given the fact that there's like at least 9 different types of weapons per like set class, like there's blue, green, and purple. The fact that you have like several different weapons that do the same thing but slightly different. Like you have like 4 different bows that shoot different types of arrows. Why doesn't it make sense to just have like a specific, like, here's a bow, here's the different types of arrows you can use, here's a sling, here's all the bombs you can throw. But no, you have to get a specific, sling to shoot a specific type of bomb because it's specific to the enemy you're fighting, or you need to shock it, or you need to burn it, or you need to freeze it. Like that shit.
Yeah,
like
see, I didn't like that either. I'm always, and maybe I'm just spoiled about this, but like, and this is just a personal thing, but I always prefer, like, even if you have a system like that, there's always one definitive, like, this is the one.
Yeah, this
like,
is the one that works the best.
The ultimate one of this type, like, of situation. In RPG specifically, like, for stuff like Borderlands, like, it's fine that there's a million types of guns for different playstyles, that's understandable, but this is a single-player experience where the RPG elements are, like, very specific. That was why, like, I hated it in God of War, because there wasn't technically like a ultimate armor or an ultimate this or that. Like,
there wasn't anything specific to strive for that would get you through the game, because that's what you want.
Yeah, it was just like for situational shit, and it's like, that's great, but I don't always want to have to think that hard about it. Like, at some point, I just want to enjoy the game. Like, when I'm first starting off, I'm cool with that, but like at some point, like, I've killed the same enemies 1,000 times. I don't want to worry about it anymore.
Like, at the end of the day, like, again, I want to go on record and state, I think the story for this game would make a fucking amazing movie. If you took the main plot, the little girl being, like, found, like, we can't show her being found, but we show, like, the beginning of the game, we show her being raised, and we show, like, everything up until the end of the game. Like, that would make a great movie. But the problem is, like, this game, it relies heavily on you doing side stuff to make getting to the end of the game doable, because you're gonna have to fight at least 2 corrupted Thunderjaws, aka 2 corrupted T-Rexes, and the T-Rexes aren't easy to beat. Like, if you don't, like, again, like, there are different types of weapons that are the same type of weapon, like different hunter bows, different sharp shot bows, that you have to do specific stuff to unlock, but they all do different shit. It's not like, well, here's a bow that's just like that bow. You don't need this one, but this one's a little bit better than that one. So this one, if you go out of your way to do the stuff to get this one will replace that one, and you're probably going to run with that one for the rest of the game. No, you're going to swap it out because it has elements on it that other ones don't have. Now you might say, well, all you have to do is like switch the slot things, the modifiers. That only increases the percentage chance that a specific arrow might have that specific effect. Whereas a shock arrow, it shocks every fucking time. That's what the fuck it does. Yeah, like this game. Ultimately, this game is a bad RPG. It's a really. It's a bad RPG. Like Destiny was a better RPG than this, by a long shot. Like being able to have because it makes more sense to it has this. You have this type, and this type, and you can have at least these 3 guns equipped on you at any given moment, so you can swap between them on the fly to be able to handle any situation that you might find yourself in. This has a bunch of different elements. You have tear, fire, frost, corruption.
Yeah, I think that's what I would say is it's very overwhelming to the average player. It's not good in that aspect.
It definitely does not make you it doesn't make you feel welcome. Because I would definitely say when I started playing it, it didn't have any kind of tutorials to tell you, okay, so this is to do this or to learn how to do this, you're gonna want to go here and do this. No, you don't always need a game to hold your hand and tell you how to do a certain thing. You don't. But in RPGs, Warframe had the same issue. Warframe didn't give a fuck. Warframe just left you to your own devices. Either you figured it out or you didn't. Minecraft is the same way. When Minecraft loads in, you don't know what to do. But Minecraft has a very select list of things you can do. There was a fight I was in earlier tonight where I needed to heal, but my hotbar wasn't on the right object, and I had to swim through several different objects before I found the next healing item, and before I got to it, I got killed. And it was that's annoying. There is no way to justify it. Either you like it, so you're just gonna suck its dick because you just don't know any better, and instead of just being I like parts of it, but it's flawed. The combat is bad. The combat isn't fun.
Which I am very in that camp. I enjoyed it, but it was not my favorite game, and I don't feel like it deserves
the accolades it got.
Type shit that I got. It really didn't.
It's no, the fact that they got to defend a complete edition, it just came with fucking the DLC does it. I got the soundtrack and other bullshit, but yeah, it's again, had the game just simply been the main plot, it'd have been fun. It really does suffer for I was playing it on hard mode out of the gate. Jake Baldino was yeah, you're gonna get 1 and 2 shotted. And I'm assuming he's just talking about on normal mode. You're gonna get 1 and 2 shotted. And I feel it was extremely unforgiving for any new player. And I don't mean new to an RPG. I mean anybody who's never played it before. It was extremely unforgiving. It hits really hard. And another issue I had that I don't think anybody else will notice. The game doesn't have passive objectives. The only passive objective is for the ultimate armor, for the old world armor. But when you get a new weapon, you unlock a new tutorial, and it's not really a tutorial. It just tells you do this many times with this specific weapon. You have to have that mission set to your main mission before it will count any of your kills or any of your accolades. It does not work passive. Period. So let's say you could get 3 of the kills that you need, but you didn't have it set as your main mission, so it never tracked any of that information. So you have to do it all over again. That for me was one of the most frustrating things. It is what it is. The plot is cool. Especially when you when you have the dude talking to you in your focus. It has a cool plot, but but the gameplay isn't good. Like, I still, for the life of me, cannot understand why the fuck are we fighting things with spears and bows and arrows when we are going up against things that can shoot fucking energy blasts at us. Like, why don't we have guns? There is no justifiable reason as to why we wouldn't just use guns and learn how to recreate their ammunition. Like, that is a glaring flaw in this game's lore. Like, it's a big plot hole. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why don't I have a laser
It's one
cannon?
of those things I don't want you to question, like why we would decide to dismantle this beast that's made of metal and make arrows out of it, as opposed to, oh, it has a cannon on the side of it. Why don't I just like detach that and learn how to like make this into something?
Because like when you have like the Ravager or the Thunderjaw, you can knock certain weapons off of it and use them against it.
And use it, yeah.
Why would we just not learn how to recreate the ammunition inside of it?
Are we to believe that we're the only ones who's ever decided to do this?
It's dumb. It's super fucking dumb. And like, keep in mind, like, if you played the game and you seeing this, you see where I've gotten. I am indeed level 52. Like, can I prove it? I can't. I can't prove it. But I am level 52. And like, I'm gonna like try to get all of the skill points, depending on like certain trophies. Like, I'm trying to platinum it, but I might not. But yeah, like, this game, if you like it, it's fine. Like, there's nothing. I'm not saying it doesn't deserve anyone's like love. But what I am
can be an enjoyable game, but
oh yes, it's
always
totally playable. It's extremely playable, but it's not the game that they're gonna make you think it is. Like, the people who like, if you watch any review, like, most people, especially I think most people will say that the game is good because everybody else has said it's good, because they don't want to run the risk of being disliked. Like, 'cause I did that with Battle for the Grid. I said that game was shit, and I got lynched for it. So
because it was the only Power Ranger game, so therefore it is
the best Power Ranger game, which is not true. There's the one on mobile, which is almost more fun than this one.
The one on mobile is better made. I'll be honest.
It's better put together.
It is 99% better.
And it's like, that's this.
With
that's
the fucking
game. With the rock paper scissors bullshit, because that's what the game is.
with the rock paper scissors and the fucking what's the word I'm looking for? They want money.
The freemium bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, by all means, like, if you get a chance to play this game, play it. It's fun, but just know, like, you're gonna, unless you're dense. If you're one of those people who's like, no, it's good because somebody said it was good, like, well then it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. You're gonna do what you want to do. But this game is definitely flawed, like, by a long shot. It's flawed as fuck, and it honestly sucks that it's so flawed. Because again, you need to do the side missions to make your time playing it more bearable, but most of the side missions are boring. A lot of the early
like the
parts
hunting trials, the fucking hunting trials, I hated those.
They got, like, again, like, you don't have to have the game on a certain difficulty to platinum it. Play the game on easy or story mode, and you're good to go. Like, you won't breeze through it, but it will feel more fair. Like, you will feel like it will make the bow and arrows feel like they make sense, because they will hit like bullets, and it will make it like, oh, so that's why they use these, because they clearly are fucking effective. Like, that's it. Like, keep in mind, they have arrows in this game that can emit like an EMP to knock, like a percussive blast that can knock off like armor plates, but they didn't make guns.
Yep.
Have fun, folks. My mouth is dry.